Hello and welcome to Press the Button. Nothing terrible will happen. My name is Sarah Day and I will be presenting this session. So we are going to be talking about what the various buttons on Family Search and Ancestry do, and then general button pressing tips. So first we're going to start with Family Search. So on the main page, it looks like this when you log in. Over on the right-hand side, you can see recommended tasks that I have circled in green. So it is an awesome tool. Family Search Computer runs through all the records that have been indexed and then pulls up hints that seem to match with the information about your ancestors that are on Family Search, and then it calls them hints. So you just go ahead and click the blue hint button and then review the information and see if it's the right one for your ancestor. The to-do list feature is also really amazing. To do this, you just type in the item right here in the Add an Item box. Then you press the Add button and it adds it to your list. As you can see, I have 2 items on my list right now. And then once you've completed whatever the item is, you go ahead and press the checkmarked box right here button, and it'll take it off your list. So really awesome. Next up is, so this is where the recommended tasks is. Here is the to-do list. It's on the same main page. You just scroll down and there's your to-do list. Next up, we have tree views. So the tree views allow you to see your Family Search tree in a couple of different ways. The first one is landscape. That's your traditional left to right tree. Portrait is from up down to up. Then you have the fan chart view, which is you in the middle and then all your ancestors in a fan chart out. And last is descendancy. Let's see each of these. So the first one is landscape. You can see up here in the corner, it'll tell you what tree view you're on. If you click this button, it'll pull down a drop-down menu and you can choose to see a different view. This is landscape. Then we have portrait, so you at the bottom and all your ancestors going up. Next is fan chart, so you in the middle and then like a fan, all of your ancestors going out so you can see all of them. And then finally is descendancy. So this one allows you to see all of your ancestors' descendants. So you choose one of your ancestors and then you go to their descendancy view and then you can see everyone. So it first lists their spouse and then their children and then their children's children and so on. And you can see all the generations and all the people in a very linear way and see all the descendants. Okay, so let's talk about the person page. So the person page is this page right here. It's really cool. It has a lot of features on it. So first off, here's your person's name that you're looking at. Over here is the follow button. If you press this button, it'll allow you to see their list. You have a list of people you're following, and so it adds them to that list, and so you can find them more easily. View my relationship, so you click on that button and it allows you to see how the two of you are related. Sometimes we go tree searching and we get a little lost and not totally sure where we are. So this can allow you to see that this is your 3 times great uncle or your second cousin 3 times removed or whatever. It allows you to see how the two of you are related. Next up is the life sketch here in purple. So you can press add and add a life sketch, a sort of summary of your ancestor's life. And then it'll be listed right there. Under that is vitals, which is here in pink. It lists the name and the sex and the birth date and the death date and the places that all of those events occurred. If you get some new information, like we learned that Peter Hooten has a middle name, we can go ahead and press this edit button and then go ahead and make the edit and save it. And so that allows you to see what's going on. Over here is research help. So this is the Family Search Computer. It comes up with helpful research help for you. So this is where all the hints are listed if it finds any for this specific person. And it also has like warning messages. So if it notices that Peter was born before his mother, the computer knows something is up and is letting you know that there's a problem that you should go and look at. Then we have the search records. So if you just click on any of the listed websites that are on this list, it'll take you to that website's database to search through their records and input all of the information that Family Search knows about that person, so you don't have to do that manually. So we're going to continue talking about the person page. It's kind of a big page, so as we scroll down, we have a couple more things we got to talk about. The first one is the other details over here. So this lists any extra information that didn't fit in the vitals. So residences, alternate names, occupations, stuff like that goes right here. So you can click add information if you have a new one you want to add, or detailed view, it'll pull up more information about each of those events. Then over here on the right, we have this green box, which has print. If you press on any of the pedigree or portrait pedigree or fan chart or any of the ones listed here, it'll allow you to print off that information about this ancestor. Then we have the family members down here in blue. So it lists the parents and the spouses and the siblings and the children of your ancestors. So you can press add spouse or add parent or show all or any of those buttons, and it'll allow you to add a new person to your tree. If you discover that they had a third child, then you can go ahead and add that child there. Next up, we have the timeline. So next to the details, which is the page we were just on, we can click timeline. This allows you to see all of the events of your ancestor's life on a timeline. So you can press the show button and it'll allow you to filter what events you're seeing. So if you just want to see their places of residence listed, you can go ahead and just see the residences. Or if you just want to see the children's birth dates, then you can just see the children's birth dates. You can press add to add a new event to the timeline, or you can turn on this map button right here and it allows you to see all of their events on a map so that you can see where they moved over the course of your lifetime. Maybe they started in England and ended in Georgia, and so it would be cool to see where they lived throughout their life. Then we have the memories page. This is a really cool page. It's all of the information that is uploaded as a memory. So photos or documents or stories and audio clips, they all live right here on this page. It's up here on top in purple. We started on the details page when we came to the person page. We're now over here on memories. This triangle in blue will allow you to open each of these so that you can see all the photos that are attached to this person. You can see that I have the audio open because the triangle is facing down instead of to the right. On this, you can go ahead and select upload. So if you have something on your computer or your phone and you want to add it to the person, you just select upload audio and it'll go ahead and pop it in there for you. And select from gallery. If it applies to multiple people and you've already added it to your great grandma, but you'd like to add it to your great grandfather as well, you can go ahead and select it from the already uploaded content. Next up, we have the sources. So this is back over next to timeline. This lists all the records and sources that are here for your ancestor. So you can press options to filter the view and see only some of the sources if you just want to see the census records and maybe notice that, oh, I'm missing the 1920 census for this person, then that's a great way to do that. You can press add source. So if you find another one and want to add it, you just press that. And detailed view. Right now you can see that all of these sources just list the name, in what entry, in what record. If you press detailed view, it pulls up the entire record and all of the information that goes along with it. Then we're going to move on to activities. Activities are awesome and meant for the entire family. So here is your listing of all of the activities. Right now, Family Search has about 20 on there, but they add new ones all the time. These are wonderful for everyone. I'm just going to tell you about my two favorite today because we don't have time to talk about all of them. So my favorite one is called Where Am I From? So you press the activities button up here and then press Where Am I From? And this one allows you to see where you are from. So here's what it looks like once you click on it. So up here at the top, we're on the generations view and you can see all of the various dots across the world from where my ancestors are from. Down here at the bottom, you can press in this pink box, there's all ancestors, which is the view we're looking at right now. You can press converts, so people who converted religions, or you can see immigrants, so just people that went from one country to another. Then down here at the bottom, you can choose number of generations. So if you just want to see generations 6 through 8, you can do that. If you want to see 2 and 3, you can do that. If you want to see all of them, you can, or just one of them. It's your choice. You can limit the number of generations. And then over here, we have our plus and minus buttons in pink. This allows you to scroll in and out and get closer or farther away from the map, so you can see the ancestors better. Next up is My Family Line. So this allows you to go up just a specific line of your family. Maybe you want to do your father's 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 mother's father's line. And so you can just choose the people that you want to see, and then it'll plot them on the map, and you can see just that line and where that family is from. Next up is the really cool part. So this is My Heritage. It pulls where your ancestors were born, and then you can see what percentage of your ancestors were born in which countries. So you can see this is mine. And so these are my percentages from my different countries. And then once you see this, you might want to learn more about this country. So you just click on it. We're going to do Denmark. So after I click on Denmark, it pulls up this. So you can see the first one here in pink is ancestors. This allows you to see all of your ancestors that are from that country. Next up in purple, there's food. If you click on food, you can learn more about the food that is made in that country. Recipes, so recipes for things they make in that country. Families, what does family life look like? How are families structured? Things like that. Social, what is the social life like in that country? Fun facts. So there are various fun facts about different countries and cultures, and you can learn about those there. And then traditions is the last one over here in purple. And so what are the traditions of that country? Once you've learned all about the country, you might change your mind and think, I want to learn about France now. So you click over here in this purple box where it says Denmark, this downward facing arrow, and you can choose a new country and investigate that one next. Then finally on the Where Am I From feature, you can press Timeline. So you can choose certain dates to see where your ancestors were living during those dates. So maybe you just want to know where your ancestors were after 1900. Or maybe you want to just do between 17 and 1800 just to see where your ancestors were. So you can limit where you want to see your ancestors by date on Timeline. Okay, the next activity I'm going to tell you about is Compare a Face. So have you ever wondered where you get your good looks from? Or have you ever been told that you look just like your Aunt Sue? Well, now you can find out who you really look like through a computer program. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You simply go and click the Compare a Face that I showed you 2 screens ago. You then press Take a New Photo. You then line your camera up and press the Take Photo button, and it'll then upload it. And so now you can see what percentage you share with one of your ancestors. So I share 28% of my facial features with my great-grandmother, Laverne Humphrey. You can then choose your various ancestors that are all listed up here and see how much you share with them. And then there's also an Add button. So then if you're doing it and one of your children or your siblings is like, hey, I want to do that too, you just hit the Add button and put them on there, and then it'll compare them with all the ancestors. So pretty cool. You can find out who you look like. Next up, we're going to talk about ancestry. So the first thing we're going to talk about on ancestry is the trees. So you go ahead and you press the trees button up top, and this will let you navigate between your different trees. Because some people are living on this tree, I've gone ahead and blanked out with black their names just to protect living people. But you can go ahead and navigate in between your different trees. So maybe you want to do the Harding family tree today and the Day family tree tomorrow. You can just go ahead and look in between the different trees. Next up is the record hints. So these green leaf things indicate record hints on Ancestry. So the Ancestry computer works like the Family Search one, and it goes through its entire Ancestry database of all the records and then finds ones that might match your ancestors. And then you can go ahead and add the records, but this green leaf indicates that there is a record that might be a possible match for your ancestor. This is what they look like when we're looking at a tree. You can see they're circled in pink. So those ancestors have records that we could go and look at. Next up is your people hints. So over here in blue, you can see I've circled one of the dudes. His picture is in green, and then it just says potential father. It can say potential mother. So the Family Search computer not only can find records, but it can also be like, I think that that might also be a person that should be, that's the father or mother of the person you were working on. So you can go ahead and click on it and compare the information and then choose whether that is the father or mother of your ancestor or not. Next up, let's talk about the person page on Ancestry. Some of the awesome some of the amazing buttons you can press on here. Let's start with the search up here in the corner in blue. So you can go ahead and press on that, and it'll open up the Ancestry search engine, and you can type in your ancestors' information and see if you can find anything else out about them. Tools will allow you to add comments or tags to your ancestor. And edit, you can edit their vital information. You can see here their birth or death information or their name. You can also edit relationships from the Edit tab. Okay, let's talk about facts. So this is the screen that comes up when you pull up your person's person page. Over here is their facts, so their name and their gender and their birth date and all of their information all listed in a timeline form. Next is sources. So here are all the sources. You can click on any of them sources to learn more about them. And finally, the family. So it lists parents and siblings and spouses and children. So you can click on any of these people to learn more about them. Then each of these have an add button. So on this one, you can add a fact. This one, you can add a source. And this button that's add, you can add another family member. So all really awesome buttons. Next up, let's talk about the life story on the person page. So you can see that this is life story. So if you click on it, it's right next to the facts button. First, in this blue box, we have the life story. So this is an ancestry generated life story, and it just is written up about who the person is. You can press edit if you want to add more information to it or take something out. Then we have the immediately family members listed, so you can see who their parents are and spouses and children just by looking. This purple thing is a timeline. So if you scroll down farther on the life story page, it's a timeline all written out with all of their events. Over here on the right side in purple is the add button. You can add events to this timeline, or the show button. If you just want to see certain events, you can click on that and filter it. Next up is the gallery. So the gallery is kind of like the memories. It's the videos and audios and images and pictures that have been added to this person. So this is what the gallery looks like. It's right on the right side of the facts button. So this is all of the images. So the record images or the individual person images, or you can add documents or stories or anything like that. So you just press the upload media button in purple and you can add it that way. Or over here in this corner that's in pink is another add button. It will also allow you to add media and pictures and stories and such to your ancestor. Then you can do show. If you just want to see the census records, then you can only show the census records. Or if you just want to see pictures of your ancestry, you can just show picture records. The sort button will allow you to sort by topic. So if you want to see the census records first and then the marriage records second, you can do that with the sort button. Next up, we have the person page. So the person page allows, this is the hints page on the person page. So we talked about record hints earlier with that green leaf. So once you click on that, you need to add the hint or ignore the hint or whatever. So it brings you to this page. So first off, there's a new hints. So this is the new ones that it's found that it wants you to add. In blue is what the hints look like. It lists the name of the record and then the person's information. You can press review to attach the hint or ignore if you don't think it's a good match. Undecided is what happens to the hints that you don't know what to do with. They might be a good match and they might not. You just don't have enough information yet. Ignored is the ones that you don't think were the right person. And accepted is the ones that you have added. Okay, finally, we're going to go through some general tips for pressing the button. So first off, you got to just press the button and see what happens. Just try it. Nothing terrible will happen. Nothing that you can do can't be undone on either of these websites. So just press the button and see what happens, and then you'll know for future reference what to do. Sometimes you'll press the button, you'll be like, nothing really happened. I wonder what that's supposed to do. So that's when it's time to Google it. Just type in the name of the website you were using, whether that be Family Search or Ancestry or MyHeritage or any of the genealogy websites, and then type in the name of the button. Usually they're pretty obvious. So like back on our previous screen when we were talking about hints, you could put in hints and then accepted with Ancestry and see what comes up. And there's usually a bunch of articles and helps because you're not the first one to wonder what that button did. And so now Google can go ahead and explain to you, oh, this is what it does and this is how it works and this is how you can use it. Your next option is to ask someone. If you have someone in your household who just happens to know a lot about family history, or if you have a neighbor that you think you could call them up and ask them, hey, so what happens when I press this? And I'm sure they'll be able to tell you, or they know how to Google it and can walk you through that. Next up is the Family Search Wiki. So this is a really cool thing. I'm sure you've all used Wikipedia before, or it's kind of like Google or a dictionary. So you just type in your query and see what comes up. So the same thing applies to Family Search. So the Family Search Wiki is specific Wikipedia for Family Search. You just type in whatever your query, whatever your button is that you want to know about, and then press search and see what comes up. The Family Search community is great. It has a bunch of different groups and you can ask questions and people can help you work through problems. And then finally, I'm going to come back to this. You got to just press the button. Nothing terrible is going to happen. You just got to press it and see what happens. So thank you for watching this with me today. I hope you all go on to have a wonderful rest of your day.